The film begins with Haruka opening her school locker and not finding her shoes inside. At that moment, a boy asks her, "Haven't you gone home yet?" She replies that she is waiting for someone. After that, the girl starts walking back home wearing only her light school indoor shoes. On the way, several girls stop her, and we understand that they are the ones who took her shoes. To humiliate and annoy her, they throw the shoes into a large hole. When Haruka goes down to retrieve them, her foot slips and she falls. The three girls take everything from her bag and throw it on top of her, and they also tear her books. After that, one of the girls tells them they are doing all this because Haruka got involved in a conflict between girls after she separated a boy and a girl from their group. The girl with yellow hair is actually the cause of the problem and was standing with them at that time. At that moment, another boy named Koga arrives with his friends, takes the yellow-haired girl and her group, and they leave the place. The girl struggles to go home while collecting her things. When she arrives, her younger sister sees her in that condition and starts crying, hugging her older sister and telling her not to cry. Their parents also hug her. The next day, her father goes to school to file a complaint. He speaks with the school administration, but the teacher is cowardly and does not want to get into trouble with the other students. She says the school will close this year anyway, so it is better to spend the remaining days in peace. In the next scene, Haruka returns to her classroom and finds that the three friends of the yellow-haired girl have vandalized her desk, writing, "Go to hell and die." At the same time, her father is on his way back, and on the road he is attacked by bullies and pushed down the stairs. One of them is wearing shoes with sharp objects attached, which causes serious injuries to her father. After that, the bullies run away laughing. During class, they place a dead crow inside Haruka's desk and go to tell the teacher, but she does not care and pretends she knows nothing, continuing to write on the board. At that moment, a boy named Iha stands up to defend Haruka and says to the yellow-haired girl, "Why are you letting them do all this?" But one of the bullies says it is none of his business. A fight almost starts, but the bully sits back down as if nothing happened. When Haruka returns home, she sees her father injured in the back due to the fall. Her mother tells her that a student pushed him down the stairs. Haruka knows exactly who did it. Her father tells her not to go to school tomorrow, and her mother also forbids her from going until graduation. After a few days, her younger sister tells her grandfather over the phone that Haruka has a fever and hasn't been going to school for several days. As usual, her mother checks her temperature and says she still hasn't recovered and should not go to school, but in reality, Haruka is completely fine and is happy to see her sister. The bullies and their friends vandalize her desk because they are bored and have no one left to bully. So they ask a girl named Rumi to go to Haruka's house and convince her to return to school, threatening that if she fails, she will become their next target. The next day, Rumi goes to her house and meets her. A song is playing in the background, and Rumi says the song is very beautiful. Rumi then tries to secretly film her to show the girls as proof that she is fine, but Haruka catches her at the last moment. Rumi says she knows Haruka is not sick and begs her to return to school, telling her that the girls will target and harm her if she does not come back. But Haruka remains silent and refuses to return no matter what. The next day, the yellow-haired girl's friends lock Rumi inside a school locker. Rumi shows them a CD and says she really met her, but the girls do not believe her. They decide that from now on, Rumi will be their new target for bullying. She stands with them as usual, silently doing nothing and just watching. Meanwhile, Haruka goes out with her sister and meets a boy named Iha, who is taking nature photos with his camera. Haruka introduces him to her sister, and he takes a photo of them together at school. Rumi becomes the new victim this time. The yellow-haired girl cuts her hair in front of everyone and everyone laughs. But strangely, Rumi is not affected and seems psychologically unstable. After the haircut, the girl asks her, "How do you feel now?" Rumi replies with a smile that she feels much better and lighter. One of the girls says that Rumi must bring Haruka back to school no matter what. But Rumi says she hates Haruka and wants to kill her. During this period, Iha and Haruka become close friends and go out together. Haruka's younger sister gives her a necklace she made at school. Haruka likes the necklace very much. They walk around the city together and go to the river, where their hands accidentally touch. Later, they return home at night and see two of their yellow-haired friends, who look scared and run away. Haruka notices that her house is on fire. She runs to the house and finds the flames consuming everything, with her father, mother, and sister trapped inside. She tries to enter to save them, but people stop her. Firefighters arrive, and the boy quickly goes inside to rescue someone. After a while, he comes out carrying her sister. Her body is badly burned but still alive, and she is taken to the hospital immediately. Haruka can only scream and cry. Her father and mother die in the fire. Her grandfather arrives to support her, while her sister is hospitalized in critical condition. The yellow-haired girl goes to school. Her mother tells her that the girl whose house burned down is her classmate, and she should go support her. She agrees and goes. Elsewhere, some of the bullies are terrified and fear being exposed, while Rumi remains fearless. In class, Rumi goes to Haruka and tells her she should not have gone home that day, laughing and saying they really enjoyed it. The school talks to Rumi and advises her to stay away from the bullies. Elsewhere, two of the yellow-haired boys are hunting crows with a gun and a bow, because the town is small and has no entertainment, so even bullying has become their pastime. Meanwhile, Rumi sits at home drawing sketches of the yellow-haired girl. She actually likes her in secret and wants to become her closest friend. Snow begins to fall in the small town. The next day, everyone is shocked when Haruka returns to school. Her boyfriend tells her she does not need to force herself, but she is still shocked and grieving. A bully girl approaches her with two others and pushes her into the same hole as before. Then she goes down and tells the other two girls to come down as well. She takes out a knife and says she has always thought about death. Then the violent events begin. The other two girls also go down. She pulls out a knife and says she has always thought about death, but after seeing Haruka's mother burning and dying, she realized how painful death truly is. At that moment, the bully grabs the girl and tells her she will die just like her mother. Haruka finds a large nail on the ground and stabs the girl in the eye. The other girls become terrified. Haruka picks up a stick that was lying nearby and keeps hitting her until the girl dies. After that, she takes the knife and moves toward the other two girls. They scream in fear, but there is no one around. The place is abandoned. One of them begs her to stop and says they had nothing to do with it and that their friend was the real cause. But Haruka does not stop and kills both of them as well. The next day at school, everyone learns that the bully and her two friends have disappeared. People think they ran away together and left town suddenly. A police car arrives at the school and everyone watches. In this town, police visits are rare, so everyone is shocked. The boy and his friends become scared. One bully runs away from school, but on the road he meets Haruka. He pushes her and asks what she's doing there, not knowing she already has a knife. Haruka stabs him again, leaving him bleeding on the ground. She follows him until he falls from a high place and dies. The next day, Haruka's boyfriend comes to her house to see her. She's still in bed and does not go outside. Her grandfather tells him that after graduation, he will take Haruka and her sister to Tokyo. At the same time, the psychopathic girl is with her mother. She receives a call from the bullies saying that 3 of them are missing and that Haruka is probably responsible. They say she might be the next victim and plan to kill her themselves the next day, and they invite her to join them. The psychopathic girl is shocked. The next day, Haruka goes out alone while 2 bullies secretly watch her. One of them shoots an arrow at her but misses. Haruka runs away, and they search for her with a bow and gun. Later, a fat boy attacks Haruka and knocks her down. He tells her he has always wanted her and forces himself on her. At that moment, she finds a nail on the ground and stabs him in the nose. He screams in pain and drops his gun. His friend arrives and shoots an arrow, but in confusion, he accidentally hits his own friend. The fat boy dies. The friend then panics and attacks him, killing him by mistake. Haruka then attacks the remaining boy with scissors and kills him too. Meanwhile, the parents of the missing bullies go to the school and demand answers. After Haruka finishes killing them, she returns home. Her grandfather is shocked, but does not ask questions. The next day, her boyfriend takes her out. They go to the same river they visited before. Haruka breaks down crying, and he comforts her and confesses his love, saying he will protect her forever. Meanwhile, the girl with yellow hair listens to Haruka's CD. Haruka's boyfriend tells his grandmother he will move to Tokyo to study and live there because someone needs protection. At night, the psychopathic girl goes to the hole and finds 3 bodies covered in snow. She becomes terrified and cannot contact the yellow-haired girl. The next day, she locks herself in her room. A flashback shows she once said she wanted to kill Haruka, while the bullies laughed at her. She had even threatened to burn Haruka's house, but the yellow-haired girl did not stop her. Back in the present, she calls the yellow-haired girl crying, saying Haruka has killed them. The girl refuses to believe it and says Haruka could never do that. She ends the call angrily. The psychopathic girl tears up pictures of the yellow-haired girl. A flashback shows the real events. The yellow-haired girl replies she never loved him and that it was all a misunderstanding. A flashback shows the truth. The boyfriend pulled Haruka away, and the yellow-haired girl just wished Haruka would stay with her as her closest friend. In the present, Haruka tells her to live her life well. The yellow-haired girl realizes her mistake and apologizes deeply. But then the psychopathic girl suddenly attacks from behind with a knife. The fight continues violently. In the meantime, Haruka's boyfriend calls her and says he has found out she is moving to Tokyo and that he will go with her. But she refuses and tells him it won't work. When he asks why, she replies, "When the snow melts, you will understand." She's referring to the people she killed. At that moment, we see the boy's hand covered in blood, revealing that he is also a psychopath. He starts screaming in anger, saying she chose her family over him, and smashes his phone. The boyfriend goes to his grandmother and asks her a disturbing question, implying she had suffered abuse from his father before. She confirms it and reveals that he killed his own father in the same way. She explains that he doesn't know how to love normally, and now that Haruka chose her family over him, he plans to kill her grandfather as well. Meanwhile, the psychopathic girl returns to her room covered in blood. Her mother knocks on the door, begging to come in, but she threatens her with a knife and tells her to stay away. Her mother still says she will always stay by her side. The psychopathic girl begins thinking about killing Haruka to end everything. The next day, the parents of the missing children go to the school and cause chaos, blaming the school for everything. In reality, their children were also bullies who caused problems. This triggers the principal, and she breaks down and runs away in panic. While running, she slips on a snow-clearing machine and dies. Haruka goes to the hospital to visit her sister, but finds the psychopathic girl there first, about to pour gasoline on her sister and burn her again. Haruka arrives and a brutal fight breaks out between them. She grabs the girl by the neck and starts choking her, but suddenly her sister's condition worsens and the nurses rush in. The psychopathic girl uses the distraction to escape. Later, the boyfriend arrives at the hospital to meet Haruka. A nurse runs in and tells her something terrible has happened to her grandfather. He has been badly attacked and is in surgery. Haruka immediately suspects her boyfriend and checks his hand, finding blood on it. He tries to explain that it is an old wound and that he did everything for her, but she doesn't believe him and pushes him away. At that moment, the psychopathic girl returns again and reveals everything: how she planned to burn Haruka's house, how the bullies threatened her, and how everything spiraled out of control. Haruka becomes furious and attacks her, but the girl stabs her in the stomach. The boyfriend then brutally beats the psychopathic girl until she dies. Haruka finds a photo falling from his bag. It shows her father and sister burning. He coldly admits he took the picture because the fire scene looked beautiful to him. Haruka realizes he is a true psychopath. She tries to stab him, but he fights back while preparing to film her death. Haruka grabs a bow and shoots an arrow into his eye, destroying his camera and killing him instantly. Haruka, badly injured, dies shortly after. Months later at graduation, almost no one attends. Only one girl shows up, the yellow-haired girl. She enters the empty classroom and remembers the times she was truly happy with Haruka. The story ends with her memories of them together. The end of the movie.